Australian made and owned, Hi-Tech Oils is one of the largest oil blenders in Australia with a truly national profile, supplying an extensive range of oils, coolant, grease, batteries and much more for all businesses and consumer needs. Choose Hi-Tech Oils for peace of mind.
Good job, thank you boys.
This car out of the corners is crazy.
Happy to you. I have no words, man.
Push, yes! What a race! Woo-hoo! That's it, baby!
We're at the business end of the season now as Bern hosts round 11 of the FIA ABB Formula E Championship. The Swiss capital providing a fairy tale setting for the latest chapter in our street racing saga, and there's been no shortage of drama thus far.
This season, Formula E has lit up the streets of 10 cities around the world.
What a race!
After an incredible 8 different winners from the first 8 rounds, Jean Eric Vergne became the first driver to claim a second win in Monaco.
That's it, baby!
Last time out in Berlin, the Frenchman fought his way onto the podium after qualifying down in 9th.
Carving through the field now, Jean Eric Vergne. Vergne again! This time up the inside of Da Costa.
But it was Lucas di Grassi who claimed the win. The Brazilian took the lead from poleman Sebastian Buemi on lap 3 and didn't let go.
Victory for Audi again in Berlin. Lucas di Grassi wins.
He became only the second repeat winner this season after Vergne.
Good job!
2 former series champions sit atop the driver's standings, with Jean Eric Vergne just 6 points ahead of Lucas di Grassi. This season looks set to go down to the wire as just 21 points separate the top 5 drivers. Before we head down to the grid here in Switzerland, here's Dario Franchitti with the inside line on this new track.
The Swiss street circuit consists of 14 turns around the stunning city of Bern, with big elevation changes as you plunge downhill in Sector 1 before climbing steeply back up again. The attack mode activation zone is between turns 8 and 9. Unlike most other circuits, the driver will not lose out when activating attack mode. There's a blind braking zone as you head back downhill into turns 12, 13 and 14. It's a 2.7 kilometre bumpy and treacherous challenge for the drivers.
Time now to head down to the grid here in Bern. In a huge blow to his title hopes, second-place driver Lucas di Grassi starts toward the back of the grid after a disappointing qualifying session in which he was only 19th fastest. Behind him is Antonio Felix da Costa, who sits 4th in the driver's standings, though that looks almost certain to change after he qualified 20th. Championship leader Jean Eric Vergne is your pole man in Switzerland, claiming 3 extra points for topping qualifying. The Frenchman's chase for back-to-back driver titles is on. And here's how the top 10 shape up. Row 5, Alex Lynn for Panasonic Jaguar and Robin Freintz for Envision Virgin. Row 4, Andre Lauderer for DS Techeetah and Daniel Abt for Audi Sport Abt Schaeffler. Moving up to row 3, Sam Bird for Envision Virgin and Maxi Günther for Geox Dragon. A great qualifying performance for the youngest driver in the field. On row 2, Pascal Wehrlein for Mahindra and Sebastian Buemi for Nissan Edams, the crowd favorite. And on row 1, Mitch Evans for Panasonic Jaguar and our pole sitter, Jean Eric Vergne for DS Techeetah. Time now to head down to your race commentary team of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nichols.
45 minutes plus 1 lap of racing, 2 attack modes to be used, and this is the view from Lucas di Grassi from so far back in the pack. The championship protagonist starts in 19th place. all the way behind the pole sitter, his title rival, Jean Eric Vergne.
Look how far out the cars are spaced either side of the grid. If you're going to try and pass somebody off the start, you're going to have to go into the middle because they're not going to give you that gap between the wall and the car. It's just not big enough.
Jean Eric Vergne, championship leader on the front row. Mitch Evans is alongside him. Lucas de Grassi is all the way at the back. Hashtag Swiss E-Prix. We are about to go racing in Bern. Wait for those 5 red lights. Vergne versus Evans on the run down. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Bern. Good start from Vergne. He should be able to hold the lead. Sam Bird's got an excellent start, looking to the outside, and there goes Buemi up the inside. Can he get past Mitch Evans and up into second place? Here they come into the first chicane now. Evans tries to hang on. Freins is in the wall and facing backwards. Robin Freins collides even on the way in, and we got a traffic jam at the first chicane. Pascal Wehrlein is in the wall. That's Alex Lynn facing the wrong way. Through comes Alexander Sims trying to get through. Lucas de Grassi has made it through, so that could give him a lot of places. It all went wrong there with Pascal Wehrlein. We haven't got any message that there's a safety car or a red flag yet, so to me these guys are still racing, but I don't think they are at the moment.
And you can see the Mahindra is jacked up at the back and it's jammed between the car behind it and the safer barrier, the Tech Pro barrier ahead of it.
So these guys are all going slowly. There's still no signs of a yellow flag. There's the red flag now, but until that point they were all being quite sort of generous with one another, and everyone now will try and avoid this this carnage here.
So you've got to stop. If you take the shortcut, you have to stop. That's why all the guys are stopping and coming to a halt.
So Vergne in first. So did Evans hold on to second? Yes, he did. Buemi is in third position. So the red flag, as you'll see on the top left, means the clock stops. The drivers aren't going to be able to... They may be able to get back to the pit lane. I'm not sure. Hopefully this should clear fairly quickly, because actually once the red flag comes out, everyone can kind of work themselves free, and off they go. De Grassi up into 8th place, Bob.
Well, I was just watching his teammate Daniel Abt, who was in the midst of that scrum, and he looks like he came away with virtually no damage. Not so these guys.
Real shame for Maxi Günther, actually, because he had qualified very, very well in 5th position. Here's a look at the start.
Look at the white car, about 4 or 5 back, Maxi Günther.
Does he just send one coming into the chicane?
He has a little look, and then the Mahindra turns across. No? Mahindra had to slow down. It's weird.
I'm not quite sure what happened there, actually. That was a little bit of a strange one. Here's a replay again. And Evans did well to actually hold that second place, because it was Buemi who got the best start.
Vergne was a bit slow in the jump on the lights.
Bird has got caught out in all of this. He's dropped down to 17th position. Here they come then to watch for the red, white and blue Mahindra again. Freins was sent spinning. Oh, he just got,
Buemi kind of squeezed him a little bit. No, not on purpose, but squeezed him into the wall, and then Günther spun him round.
Oh, here we go. This is the view from Robin Freins, because this may well have wiped him out of championship contention, to be honest. He's alongside Andre Lotterer.
He's braking, he's always lifting.
Little turn to the left. On the brakes, everything's fine.
And that was a hit.
From
he just got hit,
But he was a long way over to the right there. It wasn't...
No, somebody obviously just misjudged it. But again, we've got a better view than the drivers have, because the camera is on the top of that roll hook.
Yeah.
It's about 30 centimetres plus higher than the driver's eye line, so we had a much better view of that start than any of the drivers would. Now watch the second row. You see the silver Nissan, watch the Mahindra to his outside.
So that red, white and blue car.
Red, white and blue car, yeah. Now as they turn in, Buemi's all over the curb, he's bounced across the curb. Verlein's put the car in there, and you see him just get squeezed in.
Buemi's squeezed him in,
But not on purpose.
No, but that's where it's come from.
And then look at, there's chaos for you.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Safety car is in this lap. The grid order is correct to the starting grid. Have a safe race.
Okay, here we go then. Thank you very much for bearing with us. The safety car is about to come in.
Well, I'll tell you, Bern's safety car was close. Bern had to just back off a little bit.
Things up.
Yeah, I thought Evans was going into the back of him there. Evans is right behind him. Once the safety car pulls in after the chicane, Vergne can floor it. There he goes. Jean Eric Vergne goes for it, restarts the race, coming down into the final corners on the circuit. Yellow flag still waving, but now they will go green. And we are underway again in Bern. Here they come down in towards turn 1 then. And finally, if you haven't been with us for qualifying or practice, we'll get to see a lap of this circuit plunging down towards the bare pit down at turns 3, 4 and 5 as the sun begins to lower just a little bit in the sky. It's Jean Eric Vergne leading, 4 tenths ahead of Mitch Evans in second place in the Jaguar. Third is Buemi, fourth is Vergne, fifth is Gunther, Bird, Abt, Lotterer, Lind, D'Ambrosio, the rest of the top 10. And there is Lucas Di Grassi
in last.
All the way down in 18th position, behind Eduardo Mortara.
You know, the fact that it was a safety car restart, it took away a chance for Di Grassi to make a move. And look at Evans going through turn 7, pushing Jean Eric Vergne. Evans has got nothing to lose. He's an outsider for the championship at best.
Oliver Rowland just had a little bit of a lock-up coming into the left-hander at turn 7.
Attack mode activation zone is open.
So twice a race, the drivers have to take a power boost for 4 minutes. And they've all got 2 remaining at the moment, naturally. Evans is looking really quite feisty on the back of Bern. It's a 25 kilowatt power boost to 225, a 12% increase in power for those 4 minutes. Here we go then, on board with Mitch Evans into turn 1.
Watch how steep the hill is as they come out of 1, heading down all the way down to 3 through the sweeps of turn 2. This is the point where you get your most bang for your buck when you're lifting and regenning.
They're pulling away a little bit from the Nissan of Sebastian Buemi. The Nissan has been very quick in qualifying over the course of the year, but maybe doesn't have the race pace. Then everyone's queuing up as well behind Pascal Vergne. He's a bit of a moving roadblock at the moment in 4th spot.
Does that mean some damage from is he carrying over some damage from that first lap incident?
Yeah, potentially. He got a bit of a nerf up the back, didn't he? And they can't, replace the floor during the red flag. Quite enough time for that.
Grassi's still at the back.
No progress made yet, you're right, from Lucas Di Grassi in 18th place. Although,
if you're Di Grassi, do you want to just use attack mode just now when the field is close together and start trying to pass some people?
Evans and Bern pulling away.
Listen how hard the cars bottom out on the straight, just coming over the start line.
To the chicane again.
Out over the finish line. That's when the race will finish. Different spot than the start line. Down the hill through the turn 1 hairpin. Evans is right there.
Through the avenue of trees. Evans giving his readings.
Oh, bit of a block from Bern already.
He's really making Bern think about it, isn't it? 37.5 minutes to go. Evans is looking very racy.
Di Grassi using fan boost.
No, he's being awarded it.
Sorry.
Daniel Abt as well, getting the fan boost. Also Sebastian Buemi. But look how close Mitch Evans is as they come down towards the hairpin at 7. Da Costa covers the inside. Bern covers the inside. Da Costa and Van Dorn, the other 2 drivers, to get the fan boost.
Evans is right there, Jack. He's got his set up for the move. How aggressive will he be into 9? This is a good passing spot. No. He's lifting and coasting a little bit.
Lotterer is under investigation for ignoring pit exit lights.
Maybe when they had the nose earlier, when he went in it looked like he went in the pits and went back out with the nose damage after the first lap. Yellow flag. Where's the yellow? Oh, it's been taken in already.
Yeah, maybe he went in and then realised he couldn't be in, and then there was a red light at the end of the pit lane, but he went through it potentially.
If you missed that fan boost announcement, the 5 winning drivers are Stoffel Van Dorn, Antonio Felix da Costa, Sebastian Buemi, Daniel Abt, and Lucas Di Grassi.
So in Rome, Jaguar, James Barclay's Jaguar, took their first ever victory in Formula E as Mitch Evans overtook a Techeetah, and here he comes now looking to the outside.
That's a hard place to go around the outside and pass. I think this next sector of track out of turn 6, they've got to go up a steep hill now. He's sort of setting up in as close as you possibly can. This camera does not do this hill justice. But this next corner coming out of here right on the gearbox of Jean Eric Vergne with a head of steam and try and make the pass into turn 7.
Now Vergne does not want to waste energy fighting, and he knows that Lucas Di Grassi will be a long way down the order, his main title rival.
Can Evans get Vergne offline?
Vergne is right with him. Do either of them take attack mode? No, I thought Evans might have done that.
I don't know why he's so slow.
I don't know why he's so slow.
It's a good feeling to have as a driver when you're questioning why everybody's going so slowly around you. It means you're doing something right. He's close. He's close.
This is Alexander Sims.
Maybe this is a yellow flag.
Oh, whoa! Eduardo Mortara flying in there and getting Sims a bit of a bump. Sims has now dropped quite a long way back, so it looks like the BMW has been taken out a little bit.
Yeah, that would explain the yellow flag that we saw very briefly.
Stoffel Van Dorn has got past Jose Maria Lopez and up into 13th position. Still, De Grassi is in 16th place, not really making a huge amount of progress.
Tom Dillman went into attack mode and set fast lap of the race thus far, but he will not take the bonus point unless he finishes in the top 10.
Here they come down the hill.
De Grassi up to 16th at this point.
I don't think he's actually over. They've got past the Neos. Sims got hit off. Here's a look at on board with De Grassi in the replay, bottom right. That was his view of. Oh, and that was Van Dorn fighting. No, sorry, that's Paffett fighting with Lopez. So that was Lopez and Paffett side by side, and De Grassi almost managed to get through. But up at the front, no change.
It's one thing being quicker than the car in front, but you've got to be quicker at the right spots to make that overtaking manoeuvre.
Bern, Evans, Buemi, now there. Alex Lynn, the first. Well, he's not the first actually to go through attack mode, is he?
But D'Ambrosio behind him has done it. And so he's just covering him, isn't he? He's going defensive, using that extra power, trying to avoid getting past.
Lynn and D'Ambrosio are in attack mode, and Andre Lotter in front is not. We're on board again with Mitch Evans. So at 2 points on the track, there's a Jaguar trying to get past a Cheetah. This one's for the lead. Then it's Buemi who's starting to get reeled in, I feel, a little bit by Pascal Wehrlein behind.
Maxi Gunther, P5, he's done a very good job just keeping his nose clean, staying up there. Evans doesn't want to show Jean Eric Vergne where he's got the advantage, where he's thinking about making the move. I mean, it's fairly obvious he's going to try in 7 and 9, but he might be able to surprise him at another spot later in the race. Down to the lowest part of the track, up at turn 6 now. Got up there through past the bear pit. If anything, Vergne's getting away just a little bit.
If you're Evans, can you afford, you were talking about low percentage moves earlier on, can you afford to just chuck one in and know that Vergne will get out of the way?
Nah, he might not see you. That's the problem. You know, if you do it so late when he's focused, and somebody else going to one of the Bird, Sam Bird, yep, going to attack mode activation. No, because if he's focused on a braking zone, he's not going to be looking in his mirrors expecting you to come tearing down the inside, take both guys out. And Vergne's I wonder if Evans is wondering why everybody's so slow now, or why Vergne's so slow, because he's just started to gap the Jaguar ahead.
D'Ambrosio has been given a drive-through penalty for causing a collision, so that will be the start incident, a drive-through penalty for Jerome D'Ambrosio. And that's a harsh one here. That's going to cost him an awful lot of time. He's currently running in 10th place, the final of the points-paying positions. We've got 30 minutes plus 1 lap to go as they drop down the hill once more. This is the 10th lap of the race, but it's a timed lap. Evans is dropping back a little. There goes Bird to the outside. This is a risky one.
He's done it.
Oh, what a move from Sam Bird. Past Maxi Gunther around the outside at turn 3. When he fancies it, he can pull off a move and a half.
Yes, good boy. Right, eyes forward, eyes forward.
Eyes forward might be Stephen Lane's catchphrase here. This was, look at that, a little bit of a nudge as they come into 3. But that's not putting Bird off.
That was big. I wonder if the Dragon was saving a little bit of energy. Let's hear.
So Bird gets the run, looks to the outside a little bit later on the brakes.
That was a mighty move. Full bravery for Sam Bird.
Now Evans is dropping back from Bern.
Yes.
And is Buemi going quicker that last lap? Yeah, he was 0.3 quicker on that last lap. There's confirmation of Jerome D'Ambrosio's drive-through penalty. De Grassi and Da Costa are the two drivers in attack mode at the moment. Here's a look at De Grassi, on board with him behind Gary Paffett.
That's a problem for Paffett, it looked like.
Did they nudge at the corner? I couldn't quite make it out, but Paffett has dropped behind Lucas De Grassi now and Antonio Felix Da Costa.
It wasn't a situation, again, we saw it before, I think in Hong Kong, where one guy hit the other behind and he hit the pit lane speed limiter and jammed it on. It almost looked like that. Massa locking up and into turn 3.
It's stopped. D'Ambrosio is into the pits now to serve his drive-through penalty. That's why he's dropping down the order on the left-hand side. Evans has got more usable energy than Jean Eric Vergne, so he's going slower. Meanwhile, in attack mode is Pascal Wehrlein in 4th place, trying to get past Sebastian Buemi. And also behind, Sam Bird is in attack mode as well. And as a result, pulling to the inside goes Buemi to activate his attack mode. So 4 minutes remaining for Buemi.
See Massa go through attack mode as well.
And also Jose Maria Lopez.
He's got De Grassi right with him.
Can De Grassi get it coming into turn 7? No, not quite. Lost behind him with.
Being so aggressive, Jack. You heard De Grassi hit the curb. It's not what you want to do because the wheels are up in the air. You can't get the power down. You see Lopez heading off. Now, the car's hitting the ground there. That can do damage to the powertrain, to some of the cables, some of the connectors, any of that sort of stuff. Be very careful how hard and for how long you hit those bumps.
Paffett has just pitted, so I wonder if he picked up a puncture. I felt like there was a nudge at the corner, but I couldn't really. The sort of picture broke up at the same moment. So
it sounded like there was, didn't there?
Yeah. So we'll wait and see, because that could be trouble for De Grassi if the stewards deem it to be similar-esque to Bird versus Lotterer in Hong Kong.
Van Dorn up to 11th, just outside the points.
27 minutes and 20 seconds, plus 1 lap remaining. Race leader Jean Eric Vergne.
We've got to move. The Mahindra looks like it's slowed. Yeah.
Through goes Bird.
You would say, though, that Vergne has an issue.
Yeah, because he has. Verlein's got a problem. Pascal Wehrlein in the red, white and blue Mahindra pulls to the outside of the corner. And he is in big, big trouble and effectively out of the race as he ground to a halt there as well. I think he might have lost all power there.
I would say that's a yellow flag. We're certainly going to have a... Would we have a safety car? We're going to have full course.
Maybe.
Because it's in a dangerous position. Look at
if he's totally lost drive, then that may well be the case. So that means Bird is now up to 4th place behind Sebastian Buemi. Yellow flag is out at turn 8. But
Evans is back
are
there.
right back together.
Evans 6/10 quicker that last lap.
As he saved a bit of energy and then wound it up.
He's using attack mode. He's using attack mode. Has he got him? Look at... No, not quite enough.
Oh, Mitch Evans pushing so hard to try and get through.
3 minutes to go in attack mode. If you're Bern, you've got the Mahindra outside of the corner right
again.
Before attack mode. Is he gone?
6, not the inside. Oh,
squeezed.
That would have been a brave one.
I think I can see Bern going to attack mode this lap.
He has to, doesn't he? But is it going to be too late? Evans.
Now we've got a yellow flag coming up just past this next corner because of the Mahindra. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Double waved yellows.
Yep, so he's on the right side of the track anyway. Just stay over there and use attack mode. Yep, there you go.
Evans goes to try and get the overlap on the inside. Coming up into turn 9. By the Laubeg School there on the...
That got a whole lot more difficult, Jack.
Right-hand side, it certainly did, and Evans will be thinking, was that my opportunity?
He moved pretty late into 6.
He moved pretty late into 6.
This is race control. This is race control. Full course yellow in 5.
Full course yellow coming.
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow.
Full course yellow deployed.
94 car from turn 8.
Down to pace car speed.
And there is Pascal Wehrlein.
I wonder if that was some of the damage, residual damage from that first lap incident.
Here's a replay with Bird. That's Wehrlein in front. He's looking pretty loose there, isn't he?
Your light.
Yes. Yeah.
Tail light went out.
Yeah. Love to see an onboard from Wehrlein, see what happened. Oh, Bird's thinking is, another one down.
Yeah.
Let's get the next guy.
Attention all cars, this is race control. Attention all cars, this is race control. Full course yellow ending in 5.
Okay, so we're not bunching up. We're going back
3,
racing.
2, 1. Green flag, green flag,
green flag. Racing begins again here at the Swiss E-Prix in Bern. Daniel Abt is looking fairly racy behind Maxi Günther. He's got Andre Lotterer, the aggressive German, behind him in the black and gold Techeetah. Then it's Lin, then it's Massa, then it's Van Dorn completing the top 10. But once again, it's nose to tail for the lead of the race. Da Costa might have just got past Jose Maria Lopez on the restart and up into 13th spot. 21 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Look how close they are.
Yeah, De Grassi's right with Roland, and Evans is right with Vergne again.
Abt goes for attack mode.
And all those following him are doing the same thing, it looks like.
Look how close Evans is. He's got proper pace in this Jaguar.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We're on board with him now. The chicane coming up next.
Or very believable, should I say. Look at the bumps again. I'm not sure that going into the chicane at 12.13 is the safest place to make a move.
What evidence do you have for that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the start.
But again, you're going to have to catch Jean Eric Vergne by surprise. And with the safety, with the full course yellow, that means there's less regeneration going on to make the end of the race. So there's less chance he's going to be lifting and coasting a lot.
They are still doing a little bit though there, Jean Eric Vergne. You can hear the throttle drop off. Here's Evans.
Jeff's 1% down on us.
They're saying Jev's 1% down on us, Jean Eric Vergne, so that still means that still suggests that they think it's going to be something of an issue. Wemmy's now 8 tenths behind the top 2, and Bird has got great pace actually. He's managed to catch up to the back of the leading train.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Started in 6th place, he's made an overtake on Maxi Günther, and he's pulled away from the Dragon driver, the youngest man on the grid, age 21. Evans has committed to his next attack mode fairly early, with 18 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
Wow, that's punchy, yep.
He's gone for it, and he's now basically got a lap to try and get the move done on Jean Eric Vergne before Vergne can activate his attack mode in response, and he's closing in as they come over the crest down into the chicane. He's got a couple of corners here, Mitch Evans, if he wants to make the move. On board we go with the Kiwi.
Can he do that move down into outside of turn 3 that we saw Sam Bird carry earlier on?
Fastest lap of the race goes to Mitch Evans that last time around. He's right underneath the rear wing of the DS Techeetah of Vergne.
He's gaining, but is it enough?
Evans looks to the outside.
Now, just not enough.
Now he was strong up into 6. He's going to get a very good drive out of there.
This is where attack mode really counts. That extra 25 kilowatts of power. Has he got enough?
He's having to come off the throttle.
Round
Looks to the outside at turn 6, but that's not going to work out either. Can he get one more run coming into the hairpin left-hander at turn 7? Vergne knows he's there. Evans thinks about the dummy.
Just not enough. The attack mode activation zone is the exit of this next corner.
And Vergne surely will sweep across and activate attack mode, which he does. And so does Sebastian Buemi and Sam Bird behind. Maxi Günther's already in it, but Vergne holds off that attack from Mitch Evans for now.
Crikey, it's all happening.
Andre Lotterer just picked up attack mode for the very first time, and Alexander Sims has yet to use his first.
Lotterer is doing a great job. Just trying to make his way up the field, but Vergne is doing an even better job of just keeping everything calm at the front under intense pressure from Mitch Evans.
The top 5 then have all used their attack mode. Daniel Abt is looking a little bit pretty here. Sitting pretty, I think, is the appropriate phrase. Because he still has 1 attack mode remaining, and he's right on the back, pretty much, of Maxi Günther. But actually, it's not looking great, because Andre Lotterer in the black and gold DS Techeetah is on the attack and a little bit out of shape and locking up. Managed to get his stop though and in. But Abt is going to be the last driver of the top 6 that has an attack mode remaining.
You can see how much the halos are glowing. The lights going away from us a little bit, but I think it'll be light for another couple hours. But just the drivers, especially as they go below the trees, they're all wearing dark visors.
Abt with a lockup.
Yeah, but
just about got away with it.
Yeah, can Lotterer make the cut back on him though?
Abt doesn't go for the attack mode. So Lotterer therefore gets the outside line coming into 9. Oh, late on the brakes, lovely. Wow. Decisive stuff from Andre Lotterer, and he is now up into 6th position.
Lotterer flicking the car through that 9, 10, 11 sequence of corners.
Lucas de Grassi in 11th place, has an attack mode remaining, but he's 3 seconds back from Stoffel van Dorn in the HWA. Fastest lap of the race pinged in by Jean Eric Vergne. They're both in attack mode, and the difficulty for Evans is that once he's out of attack mode, Burns will be continuing, so he'll get another lap.
As will Buemi to close that gap up.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. And Bird coming with him too. Fastest lap. This is a look at Lucas de Grassi, how he got past Oliver Rowland on the inset there. Looking to the inside, coming into turn 7. Obrigado.
Rowland was kind of, you know, I'd expect a bigger defence from Oliver Rowland. Maybe he just doesn't have the pace in the car. Maybe there's something wrong with it.
So de Grassi up into 11th spot now.
Lotterer is all over the back of Maxi Gunter, and he makes a move. Wow. That's a proper overtaking manoeuvre.
5th place now then for Andre Lotterer. Started this race in 8th place, did the DS Techeetah driver, the man who's trying to fight Jean Eric Vergne for the championship, but as it stands, Vergne's going to take a big old haul of points going into the final 2 rounds in New York City. So Vergne has a 1.1 second lead over Mitch Evans, half a second back to Buemi, 0.6 back to Bird, 1.8 back to Andre Lotterer in 5th place. Minutes plus 1 lap to go. They were predicting storms today, Bob.
Well, and you're not going to want to hear this, but as I look at the radar, there is a sizable storm cell bearing down on us from the north. It may not get here in the next, what do we have left, about 11 minutes. It might well be here for the podium ceremony.
Sam Bird have a problem. He ran a bit wide in turn 6. I'll tell you what, if it comes for 2 laps to go, that would be quite interesting.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Andre Lotterer has got 5% more usable energy than Jean Eric Vergne, than Mitch Evans, a bit more than Buemi. Oh, goodness.
There it is.
There's the shower.
That's rain.
It's that close.
That's the Young Boys Stadium there. That is the expo where the cars are housed, and then this is the racetrack down here. That is very close. Bob Varsha, man of all talents, meteorology.
Master of none.
Again, listen to these cars bottom out, coming over that hill.
Shedding Michelin rubber on the way.
Yeah, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, nose to tail. So Lotterer's joining the party as well in 5th.
Yeah, Bird dropped back, but now has really rejoined at the back of Buemi.
And Nick Heidfeld said it in Berlin. The last person you want to see in your mirrors is Sam Bird, because you know he's going to have a go at you. You can break him possibly late.
We've already seen what he did to Maxi Gunter earlier on. Minutes to go, plus 1 lap. Alex Lynn is in his attack mode, and he is only 0.2 behind Daniel Abt, but Abt does still have an attack mode remaining, so it's now or never for Alex Lynn really to get into 7th place. Here's Evans on the radio.
Buemi's limited on battery temp. I think they are worse than us.
Interesting. Buemi's limited on battery temperature. Now that's a bit of a... It's not that hot here.
Yeah, but it's the downhills, Jack. Those big, steep downhills with the regeneration, the amount of, you can regenerate down there, puts a tremendous amount of strain on the regeneration of the battery system.
So that explains why Sam Bird is right behind. I'm interested to know how they know that.
Jack, I probably heard the radio. Andre Lotterer last lap was 7/10 quicker than Sam Bird ahead of him.
Wow.
He's getting there in a hurry.
Yeah. He certainly is. Here's Alex Lynn then in that battle I was talking about a moment ago with, he's in 8th place, but Daniel Abt has taken the attack mode now, so Lynn couldn't quite take the advantage when he had attack mode, and he's stuck up behind Daniel Abt at the moment in 7th spot. So Lotterer is closing in because of all that extra energy he has. Here comes the black and gold DS Techeetah car, swinging through now. Then it's a bit of a gap back to Maxi Gunter, then it's Abt and Lynn.
Daniel Abt's driving for his drive. You know, he's not confirmed the Audi for next season. He's got to do some big performances.
So is Alex Lynn.
So Alex Lynn at Jaguar, exactly. He's in the shop window at the moment.
8.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Pascal Wehrlein is under investigation for incidents at turn 12 and 13. May well be the star of the race. Here's Lotterer. We can hear from Andre Lotterer then, but we didn't 8 minutes to go. They're probably saying that he's got one attack mode left as well. So he's got all this energy, and he's got an attack mode. Buemi's on his fan boost. He's in third spot at the moment. Can he try and get Mitch Evans into second place? Not quite close enough to do so. Interesting place to use it, coming out of the hill there, in towards the chicane, because it's not really an overtaking spot. Buemi used his fan boost, wasn't able to get it done. So he's still in third position, with Bird behind in fourth.
Just looking at the usable energy left, the Grassi looked, he's struggling. He's got a lot less than Van Dorn ahead of him, which is going to make catching and passing Stoffel Van Dorn pretty difficult, I would say.
So look at Lotterer, he's got 28% usable energy, Bird's got 24%. Lotterer is pretty much going to be flat out to the flag now, with 7.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and he's got an attack mode remaining, so certainly fourth place has to be on his radar. Any higher than that is just so tough to overtake, but there's potential here for Lotterer. Wehrlein, no further action after investigation. Very happy with that, because he was very unfortunate down at the first corner. With the right-hander of 8.
Consider using attack mode.
Consider using attack mode. He's still 8/10 back. I think you want to be a bit closer, don't you?
Yeah, he's gone in. Yeah, he's right there. I would have said one more lap, but I'm not driving the car. And look how he flicks the car through 9, 10, 11. And it just gains him so much time. You see Da Costa has gone through attack mode as well.
So Lucas Di Grassi is the Grassi, Sims and Paffett, for what it's worth, the only drivers with an attack mode remaining. So this is Lotterer's chance now to get past Bird. These two with history after Hong Kong, where Bird hit Lotterer out of the lead of the race. Oh, and there's a little nudge to say, thank you very much, I'm coming now. And Abt is looking strong behind Gunter. He's got half a minute left of attack mode to try and get that 6th spot.
Almost like, looks like Buemi is kind of holding Bird up a little bit, which makes him even more open to attack from Lotterer behind.
So Bern now, 8/10 of a second ahead of Mitch Evans. Then it's 7/10 back to Buemi, 6/10 back to Bird, 3/10 only back to Andre Lotterer, up the hill through 6.
This is where it'll happen, exit of 6. Is he close enough? No.
Bird covers, but all of a sudden he's looking in his mirrors rather than in front.
Yeah, 2 more corners. Lotterer's got another chance at Bird going into 9.
Temperature dropping, wind starting to come in. Rain on the way.
Here's Lotterer.
Lotterer to the outside, coming towards turn 9. Bird will hold the inside, try and be later on the brakes. Lock up from Lotterer. Bird has it for now.
Bird is able to brake so late. To go around his outside, you're asking a lot.
Here they come again, down the start straight. Bird again will cover the inside line. Lotterer will be just looking for one mistake, and he's got a good lap and a half on Bird in attack mode. So he'll get another run into turn 7, possibly another run into turn 9, definitely another run coming down the hill here towards turn 3, right up towards the wall, using all of the road. Can Lotterer find a way past? It could be crucial for his title hopes here.
Yeah, and it's harder to do now because there'll be really no regeneration. There'll be no sort of lifting and coasting, shall we say. There'll be regening, but not lifting and coasting, so it's harder to make those passes, to get alongside and get that overlap.
Up the hill on the streets of this beautiful city of Bern in the 11th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship. Just 2 to go after this in New York City. Bern leading the way. His teammate Lotterer wants to try and chase him down in the championship. It's the mistake from Bird. Lotterer finds the inside, and he's up into 4th position, and Bird will kick himself for that. A little lock-up coming into turn 7, and Lotterer now has his eyes set on Sebastian Buemi for 3rd place.
1 minute, 8 seconds left of attack mode for Andre Lotterer. He's got to get the head down, get after Buemi, get onto the podium.
What a drive this would be from Lotterer if he could get up to the back of Sebastian Buemi and maybe pass him. This was the replay on board, and Bird just made the error.
Bird went across the bumpy part where they've taken away the centre reservation of the crosswalk, and I wonder if that caused some of the lock-up.
And Lederer was quick to jump on it.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Almost as though he knew it was coming.
Didn't need asking twice. Sylvain Philippi, Managing Director of the Envision Virgin Racing team. That is the Tachita gang. And look at this, Lotterer's right on the back of Buemi. He might get a run into 7. I think he might just be too far back.
And maybe to 7. Well, up this hill, he's going to have a lot more. He's at 12% more power than the car in front. So close the gap quite quickly with that amount of extra power.
Bird coming under a bit of pressure from Maxi Günther. Here they come, down towards 7. Lotterer's not quite going to have enough, but can he now just do it in raw speed? Look how much usable energy he's got left compared to the others. 3 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
And a fabulous job by Maxi Günther in 6th place.
Yeah. Good stuff from Günther. Bird has suddenly dropped way off the back of the drivers in front.
De Grassi's in 10th, he's got a point.
Managed to get past Stoffel Van Dorn then.
And he's right behind Felipe Massa, who's in 9th.
So De Grassi might be able to get up to 2, but even then it's still going to be a huge swing in favour of Jean Eric Vergne if he can hold on ahead of Mitch Evans and wrap up the win in the Swiss E-Prix. Lotterer behind Buemi.
Rain, slight rain, turn 1, slight rain, turn 1.
Oh, slight rain at turn 1. With
you called it, Dario, plus 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes plus a lap to go. Now these drivers don't have to change tyres. These are all-weather Michelin tyres.
But Bern is the first person, the championship leader, first guy to hit these new conditions.
And look how close Evans is to the back of him at the same time.
So Bern's gone into the completely unknown now, Jack. He's never driven on this surface with rain. The other guys can judge themselves off him, but he's got nobody to judge himself. He can outbrake himself quite easily.
1.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Light rain at turn 1 is the report.
It looked like it was kind of down the hill as well.
Look, it's coming down here.
You can see it here.
Spots on the camera lens. How heavy is this shower going to be? Will it just be a few spits and spots?
Well, the helicopter's still up. What we saw in the distance, that didn't look like a few spits and spots. And you see Lotterer just catching again. Bern backing everybody up.
Evans is right with Bern. And Evans, not really in championship contention, wants to take a win.
His second one of the season. There you go, wet. There's the slippery surface flag, so it's raining here.
And Bern's covering the inside line. What a tense final 2 laps we're going to have. This is going to be the penultimate lap of the race, but they're starting now with the rain coming down onto the brakes into turn 1. This is where the drivers are tested, and it's a really good run through. You can see the umbrellas are up in the grandstands, and Bern is ahead of Mitch Evans, and Evans can sense the win.
He could definitely taste blood in the water, but look how wet the surface is.
Oh, they're all out of shape, coming down into 3. Bern covers the inside and holds on for the moment.
Oh, he's made a mistake, yep. Each one of those painted lines is like ice, and they're trying to put the power down and brake and turn. Okay.
So sketchy coming up the hill through the left-hander of turn 6 now, with no idea how much grip is out there. The penultimate lap of the race, the top 4
Look
right
for Evans.
together. Into 7, it's pouring down.
Oh. Here comes Lotterer as well.
Looking.
Look at the amount of rain.
Oh, it is chucking it down. And the top 4, Verne, Evans, Buemi, Lotterer, any of them can win. Can Buemi wrestle somehow a victory in his home race away?
And these guys are making adjustments to the brake balance, trying to get the car to stop in the wet. It's different, and in the dry, they're making all these adjustments inside as well.
Evans gets a good drive out of the left-hander of turn 11. Down towards the chicane once again.
As they come into 1, look at the amount of painted surfaces that they're having to contend with. They come through 12, 13 steeply downhill into 1.
And look at the nerves.
Nobody can believe it.
Inside the garages. Final lap of the 2019 Swiss E-Prix. James Barkley, the manager of the Jaguar team, is getting a bit stressed.
He's not the only one.
Down into turns 3 and 4 again. The rain looks like it's just slightly eased down here, but the track is still going to be a bit greasy.
Just a touch, I would say, Jack.
That last lap, they were doing 1:30s.
About 10 seconds off fastest lap.
Is Evans going to fancy it on this final lap of the race?
Vergne looks a bit more confident at this point of the track than he was the lap before.
But this is where it got all rainy coming up into turn 7, and it is still pretty rainy. Yep. Evans thinks about it, Buemi's late on the brakes. Lotterer's going to nudge the back of the Swiss. There aren't many more overtaking spots.
Vergne makes a lovely exit out of 8. This is probably Evans' last go. Look how wet it is. Look at the spray.
It's chucking it down into turn 9. Oh, I thought Lotterer was gone. Just about managed to keep it together. There's only one more chance now for Evans. He lights up the rears and Bern almost bins it, keeps it together. But Evans' bad traction out of 11 surely has handed it to Bern. Just the chicane to go.
This is relatively dry.
Buemi is covering the inside line from Lotterer. Bern is going to hold on. Lotterer hits Buemi, but out of the final corner, there's the checkered flag. And there's the win for Jean Eric Vergne and DS Techeetah. What a wonderful win in Bern.
Jeff, mega Jeff. FP2, box pist lap, FP2, no crossing region pedal. Mega work.
Incredible race.
Mega work is the message from Pascal Tortosa. Evans in 2nd place, Buemi 3rd.
That was a hard win. Nice fitting. Wow. At the end, the rain was hard to say. Being first in.
Yeah, the rain was interesting at the end of the race. There's no doubt about that. A race winner, Jean Eric Vergne.
Third win of the season.
Let's chat to him. Jean Eric Vergne is Dario. Congratulations. That got a little bit interesting with a couple of laps to go.
Thank you, Dario. Yeah, it was a hell of a race. I mean, it was complicated at the beginning. It was pushing really hard, and then I had a bit of free room, and then the rain. I guess I was very cautious. I knew that the guys in the championship were behind, so I mean, I wanted to finish second and in the wall, so that's why I took it very easy. But I'm very, very, very happy with this win.
Yeah, you definitely put the pressure on Lucas today with this incredible result, and you handled the pressure like a champion. Well done.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Here's a look at Lucas de Grassi and Felipe Massa. Oh, Massa squeezed him into the wall there. That is not compatriotism.
Well, Massa was looking in the mirror the whole way down the straight to the right, so he knew he was there.
Massa's learning the Formula E rules, isn't he?
I wonder if they'd had a bit of a moment beforehand.
Actually, he left him enough room.
Okay. I'm never going to race him with you, Jack.
I don't think we'd ever be together on the track. And look, this was Bern almost pinning it. Evans, that's where Evans couldn't get it done, and then Bern right at the last.
He hit the curb coming out of 11, and that spun the wheels up.
Victory for Jean Eric Vergne after a thrilling race in Bern. On top of his car, on top of the Techeetah, and the reigning champion, after a struggle at the start of the season, looks to be well back in control of the championship.
Here's a look at our provisional results. Jean Eric Vergne, as mentioned, 3rd win of the year and a stout lead in the championship now. Mitch Evans fought hard, wound up a well-deserved 2nd. Sebastian Buemi puts the home team on the podium in 3rd. Then Andre Lotterer, who was right there at the end. Sam Bird, who nearly threw it away, drove hard and comes home 5th.
Yeah, I'm actually really, really tired now. I think I need a week of rest, you know, with Le Mans last weekend, simulator straight away on the Monday to prepare this race. I'm so glad with the result. You know, the guys worked so well, and couldn't get any better today. And the end with the rain was really, really stressful, and I had to be careful. You know, I rather finish 2nd than in the wall for the championship. So I was, of course, trying to win the race, but also being extra cautious.
I couldn't find a way by, especially with there was no time loss of the attack mode activation today, which I think saved him. I mean, our pace was rapid, and I had a lot of up our sleeve in case I got into clean air. But what a great race! You know, congrats to Jev and the whole DS Techeetah team. I want to congratulate my boys. They've been working so hard. Thank you so much. But what a crazy race! The last few laps were absolutely on the edge with the rain, and it was actually a lot slipperier than what it probably looked on TV. So it was classic racing, and it had something to spice it up at the end. So it was a good race, and hopefully we can continue this into New York now.
I mean, to have a podium at home, it's amazing. I could hear the fans, you know, saying my name. So it was an amazing feeling. My family is here, so I'm really happy. You know, it would have been a shame not to step on the podium, especially if we don't know that, normally not coming back next year.
Jean Eric Vergne is now the dominant leader, hoping to become the first two-time and first back-to-back Formula E champion. Andre Lotterer now second. Lucas de Grassi drops to third. Mitch Evans up into fourth. Antonio Felix da Costa down to fifth. Robin Freins loses a spot, drops to sixth. Then Sebastian Buemi, Daniel Abt, Sam Bird down in ninth. Jerome D'Ambrosio down to 10th. And then Oliver Rowland in 11th. How about the team's championship? Well, you know who's up top right now. DS Techeetah was hanging on, and now they have a 58-point lead over Audi Sport Abt Scheffler. Envision Virgin Racing remains in third. Nissan Edams up into fourth. Mahindra Racing in fifth, and then BMW I Andretti. Jean Eric Vergne takes the top step of the podium after a lights to flag victory in Switzerland, his third of the season. It was a masterful display from the Frenchman, whose chances of claiming a second consecutive driver's title in New York have received a big boost. That's all for us here in Switzerland. So for Jack Nichols, Dario Franchitti, Georgie Barrett, and me, Bob Varsha, we'll see you next time for the season finale in the United States, where your 2018-19 Formula E champion will be crowned.
Turn me up, I can't tell you what it is, but I can feel the danger, I can feel the danger, recognize.
Very, very quick, lights out. Oh, round the outside, slap.
Well done, mate.
I can feel the danger, synchronized.
The Frenchman on top of the podium.